Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's. Got here a Fiat Ducato motorhome, so just got it jacked up here ready to have a look at. Just trying to figure out where the DPF pressure sensor is and all of that. We're going to get inside now and show you what's going on. Okay, so this is done 36,000 miles, engine management light is on, and something I can notice there straight away is that the exterior temperature sensor isn't working. If we switch on the radio, you press here, you can see as well it's not working there. Now, with this being a Fiat, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to affect the DPF on this. I know if it's got AdBlue, this temperature sensor needs to work 100%. But the customer is telling me that he's had this motorhome 1.5 years, and that sensor has never worked, and it's never caused a DPF issue. And now he's got a DPF issue, so I'm going to plug it in and see what's going on. So I'm going to use the Launch UK MOT4 here. We'll run a scan of the vehicle. Okay, so we're in. Now straight away there we have an external temperature sensor fault. What the customer doesn't want to replace that right now, if it needs doing. He said he's had it diagnosed already as these faults here: P2454 and a P2452, trap hose line monitoring for cold condition signal invalid, and short circuit to the pressure sensor of the DPF. So okay, so it looks like that's what we're going to be changing today. Change that sensor, press enter on there. Now I would recommend changing the sensor anyway for the wing mirror, or for the exterior temperature sensor that's built into the wing mirror there. Let's look at the differential pressure. Okay, let that load up. 32 millibars of pressure, a little bit of rev, make sure that's moving. Yep. Okay, so it's idling at 31 millibars of pressure, so DPF has got a bit of pressure in it. The sensor is reading it, even though it's saying it's not. But obviously we can't trust that sensor, so we're going to have to get that sensor changed, and then we'll go from there. Now, of course, like I said, the customer's had this diagnosed before he came here, so sort of knew what we were going to be looking at, so we've got a sensor here ready to fit. Okay, so just up here we have the pressure sensor. We have a plug here. We're going to test that. Okay, first pin, you can see we have 5 volts, and then pin on the far side we should have a little bit lower, 1.5 volts there. Try and get that in again. 3 volts, and the center is going to be an earth, so we need to do a continuity test for that one. We'll just change the setting on there. Now we've got that on continuity test, we'll just check it's got resistance, check it's got continuity, sorry. Yeah, so the plug is working. Let's get the sensor changed. Okay, so that's the old sensor out, just a little 10mm bolt there. New one's connected up. Okay, now we're back inside, we'll check the differential pressure again. Still got 32 millibars. Sensor circuit. That's the voltage there for it. Alright, so we've still got the same reading. Now, like I said, this sensor was given a live data reading, so it didn't look like it wasn't working, but it could be an intermittent fault, so it's always worth changing it before you're going to spend money cleaning the DPF. Now we're going to do a DPF clean, try and get this pressure down. Okay, so I think we've had some sort of unsuccessful attempt there to log into the DPF system. Okay, so I'm just going to use the Launch UK Eurotab 3 now. What I want to do is obviously program in replacement of the pressure sensor. Need to make sure that that's been calibrated in. Okay, now that's all done, we'll return to exit that. Okay, so I've got this kit, is a Milwaukee compressor at 130 psi. Got Launch UK DPF cleaning fluid into the Launch UK gun. and we're going to get that attached up to the sensor. So I've got both of these tubes removed. I'm going to put a tiny little bit in here just to check that the hose isn't split anywhere and it's not blocked. Okay, so we've got fluid travelling through that, and we can see it's not got any leaks. So we'll connect it up now to the bigger side. This is the side that's going to clean the DPF out. Again, now we can just squeeze the trigger, get that fluid in there. So I'm just squeezing the trigger here on the gun. Squeeze all of that in there. So now we've got the engine running. Put that on a graph. Just come down a fair bit there. Try and get it out of the sun if I can. Hold the revs up to 3000 RPM with a pedal depressor. You can see there the pressure's come down. See a lot of steam like that. Gonna let that run for about 2 to 5 minutes. So we'll give that now a couple of minutes for that steam to die down. It's basically smoke from the vapour. Okay, back inside the van we have now 5 millibars of pressure at idle and at 3000 RPM we have about 28. So now we just take the vehicle on a test drive, make sure everything's working as it should be. Okay, now we're back from the test drive. We leave the data stream, go back to the fault code, make sure that it has gone and it's not come back. Okay, that's clear. So we'll see what else we had here. Left audio speaker and external temperature sensor. So the customer doesn't want to change that right now, unless it's given them an issue. Now, because this doesn't have AdBlue, like I said, if you've got an AdBlue version of one of these vehicles, Citroen, Peugeot or Fiat, that temperature sensor will affect the system. But he's willing to give it a try on this, so I'll let you know. If it doesn't come back, you won't hear from me about this video. But if it does come back, of course we'll make another video on it showing how the sensor has affected the DPF or not. But as far as I know, as long as it doesn't have AdBlue, it doesn't really affect the system too much. So that's it now, we're all finished on the Fiat Ducato. And as you could probably see there, I did have to resort back to my more expensive tool, the UK Euro Tab 3. So that's it, we'll see you on the next video.